and we're waiting to see if it started. This is always really fun. It might have started, it might not have. To everyone who is on.
We're good to go.
It says waiting, and we're live!
Yay!
Yay! Thank you
We're
so much
alive.
for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. So I'm going to have my phone right here. So for anyone asking questions or commenting, I can see it all right there. And I should be able to get this, enter full screen. Perfect. Awesome. We are ready to go.
Yes.
So everyone,
I was just checking everything. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. And if you have to at any time, just go on your phone. This is super casual. So thank you so much, Jaime Lozano and Florencia Cuenca.
Yes.
Cuenca? Did I nail it?
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. Very good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. How has your quarantine been?
Having our 3 years old son back in home 24/7 is like very demanding. So you think a lot of people is writing me, oh, finally you're gonna write your big Broadway musical. Finally you're gonna write your own Hamilton. But now having Alonso here 24/7, it's like impossible to write,
Yeah, it's very challenging.
Yeah, that's part of what I wanted to ask about is so many people have been saying this is the big moment where you can either be very inspired to write or it can be a little harder. But it's, I feel like being inside when you have to be inside and when you have to be doing all of this and take care of a child, that certainly adds extra difficulties, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But I think, everyone has a different way to survive and to cope with this. Yeah. So it's okay to write 20 books. It's okay to write 50 musicals, but it's also okay, don't write at all. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to make jokes. It's okay to cry.
Yeah.
It's okay to get angry. It's okay to get frustrated. It's okay to make love. It's okay to not make love.
Yeah.
It's okay to eat as much as you can or you want. It's okay. Sometimes don't eat at all. Everyone has a different way to deal with this.
And I think it's not vacations because everyone is it's like vacation, so you can use your time to, and it's not vacations at all. We are all coping with this situation. We have family. We are stressed. It's not a normal situation when you are in a perfect, how do you say ambiente, in a perfect environment, to write, or I am inspired. No, it's it's a difficult situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly has been an interesting combination for me of having these exciting live interviews and then also just wanting to watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because sometimes you just want to laugh and to think about anything else, Exactly. We are watching Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Yes.
Is that the name? Oh my God, it's so good. And I'm I can't wait to be, it's on Saturday, Sundays?
Monday.
Monday, we see it in Monday. Yeah. Because it's your free time where you relax and you laugh and you enjoy and it's musical and it's fun. Well, at least we need that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Right, and for being musical people, it is nice to have a little bit of that musical theater, even though we don't have it live.
Yeah.
To still have it in the house. So have you both been singing or playing the piano while you're at home?
We are trying to, we have our dancing, singing time with Alonso, and we play music and we dance with him. We have been trying to write a couple of songs together because in Spanish we collaborate together. We're trying. It's nothing completely done yet, but we're trying.
And also because we're not doing like we need to do it. It's like, okay, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? Oh yeah, it's great. And then we start working, and then I'm like, okay, I need to do something else. And he's like, okay, I need to send some emails. We are not like putting pressure on
too.
it.
Yeah. And besides this, I'm writing for like different things right now. I mean, I'm working on a couple of musicals, so I'm trying to write as well. And I'm doing. There's this digital song cycle that they're gonna. The Other Palace, that is a theater in London.
London, yeah.
Gonna premiere at the end of April. So we are like a 60 songwriters writing songs for this digital song cycle called On Hope.
Oh yeah.
So I'm writing a song for that show, for example. I'm doing demos for another project. I mean, just trying as hard as we can to survive, to do what we can to survive during this situation.
Yeah, it's certainly tough for artists who are like doing live art is so much of a factor in our lives, right? And specifically for you, I mean, that's where we met even. Well, we met, did we see each other outside FLS? Am I remembering that?
The first time we met was during Ana Villafañe's Spanish concerts.
Yes. Oh, that was
an epic time, yeah.
Oh, that was so. I love like when they take something that's like, oh, here's one part of Broadway, welcome in a lot of people from like the Hispanic community and see what magic happens. Oh, that was such a beautiful night.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, and that's what I love about Broadway and about being part of this community. I mean, that we are like a family, like a familia. That's what we're trying to do with all our like Latino friends, just to create art together, to tell our own stories.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about the Familia, because if everyone's been seeing, we've been promoting the concert that I filmed that you put on at Green Room 42. So I think people would love to hear a little bit about the origin story.
Yeah. Like there's a theater here in New Jersey. We live actually in New Jersey, just crossing the river.
Okay.
And like 3 years ago, a theater called Two Rivers.
Yeah.
That is where actually Be More Chill started.
Exactly.
They contacted me because they want me to do a concert for them. They have a festival called Crossing Borders. So they contacted me to do a concert, but to be honest, I have never done concerts before that day. So I put together Florencia and another couple of friends, and we did that concert here in New Jersey. That was like almost 3 years ago. And it went so well, and it was so well received that I decided to create this like movement of our own people singing our own stories, trying to put together a group of Latino artists, like immigrants or first generation, second generation, because we are all different kind of Latinos, There's Latino that they don't speak Spanish, and that's okay. And that's perfectly okay. They're Latinos. They're Latinos
who have an accent.
Who have an accent as us. Or Latinos from different cultures, like a mix of Mexico and Dominican Republic, or Israel, or Brazil and Mexico, or, and we are all Latino. Doesn't matter. It's not like, you're Latino just 20% and you're Latino just 50%. No, we are Latinos, and that's it, So I try to put this group of people together because I strongly believe that we need to tell our own stories. I mean, there's out there like gringos and people from the United States telling their own stories. I mean, those stories belong to them. So I can't tell their stories. I have to tell my own stories, and that's what we're trying to do with this Familia. And we have done a couple of concerts in I mean, Joe's Pop, Green Room 42, and I mean, the welcoming from the people, I mean, that has been great. I mean, like sold out concert, like great comments at the end, people really enjoying. We were supposed to go to London in October. So we don't know if that's actually going to happen now. But I mean, we are trying to spread the word about Latinos telling our own stories.
Yeah, I could tell from the Green Room 42 concert the hunger for that, the need for that, because everyone was so excited. So I was just rewatching it, and there was a moment where Mauricio was like, "Anyone else from Mexico in the house?" Everyone's like, "Yeah." So it's great to see the community. Hi there.
Hello. And this is Alonso.
It's okay, mi amor.
Oh, so cute. And that's actually one of my favorite parts of, these things happening. You have these at-home videos now, and sometimes kids come on, sometimes animals, the pets,
like the dog.
Yeah.
It's like the everyday life now.
Yeah, exactly. So do you want to do a song and then we'll get back into some questions?
Sure. You want to do a song?
Mm-hmm.
Which song do you want to do?
Let me grab my lyrics just in case.
That's how I feel. I always go make sure about that.
Okay. We're going to do this song that is we did this song cycle called A Never Ending Line. Mm-hmm. That is a song cycle where I have the pleasure and the honor to collaborate with 9 different female lyricists. And Broadway Records just released a few months ago the album with some of the best Broadway performers. It's an album that I'm very proud of. And there's a story that I actually learned about this story from, I work a lot with Alex Lacamoire, who is the arranger and orchestrator for Hamilton in the Heights, blah, blah. So he said, yeah, there's a lot of things to say about him. He has a sister in Florida that she does TV. She's a TV producer, and she made a documentary going to Cuba for the first time to meet her family. I mean, Alex family. So she went to Cuba with all his TV team. And in Cuba, there was this woman around 60 years old, 50, 60 years old, that her sister left Cuba 40 years before. So they were like 18 years old when they went apart, when they split. So one sister was living or is living in Florida and the other sister in Cuba, and they have never seen each other in more than 20 years. Actually, yeah, more like almost like 40 years, something like that. So Alex Lacamoure's sister goes to Cuba, and she has recorded in her phone like a little message from one of the sisters in Florida to take that message to the other sister in Cuba. So I learned about this because Alex is very, how do you say? He always asks me to subtitle every single word that he does, so his family in Cuba and the one that they don't speak English can understand everything that they're saying. So Alex sent me this documentary, so I subtitled the documentary from English, the words in English to Spanish, so everyone can understand. And we learned about this story from this documentary, and we wrote this song for this song cycle. And yeah, so we're gonna sing. Let's see what's happened, because I don't know the song by memory, but I will try.
I dreamt of something new. I said goodbye to things thinking you grow old without me. I make my plans, I push my doubts aside. So many fears, I toss them to the tide. And now I've watched the years go by. Some days at 6 o'clock, I walk out on the docks and look across the ocean. I try to see you smiling back at me. The waves move on and sunset turns to dawn. And how we watch the years go by and by. Oh, me, hermana, I know that I'm free now. I'm free to miss you more and more. I'm free to tell you that I can just hold you. I'm free to feel my heart get tired. How we would run, just the sisters racing the sun. We dreamt us one. Un calle 8 I stroll. I find the cortaditos and the man who rolls cigars. I dance the rumba in the old Havana bar. We've come too far, I watch the birds as they fly. And now I hear my sister cry. Oh, me, hermana, I know that I'm free now. I'm free to miss you more and more. I'm free to long for one more chance to see you. I'm free to dream of life before. How we would run, just the sisters racing the sun. Wishing one scene, and now it takes you from me. And when I walk away, I look behind again. So sure I'll find you here. I hear your laugh again. Sound I know so well. Or is it just a call for me? Hermana, I know that I'm free now. I'm free to miss you more and more. I'm free to hate all the miles that divide us. I'm free to wish we share one star. How we would run, just the sisters racing the sun. Oh, you are my home, mi hermana, mi corazón. The wind has blown, and the years they have flown. You want to join?
Yay! Oh, that was beautiful.
How is standing up there? I mean, it's not too. Can you hear everything okay?
Yeah, it was beautiful. I even heard some backup vocals there.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful, and I'll clip that off separate and also upload it as just like a separate video, so we can
That's great.
Great.
So what's the title of that song?
And the years go by.
Years go by. That was beautiful, and you hit some of those notes, girl.
Thank you.
She's the I love her.
Yes, Deborah is saying, yay, beautiful. And thank you for the comment. Please feel free to comment, ask any questions on this YouTube page. I am following along with the comment section, so it's pretty great. And so what's it like? I think people always want to know when there are couples who perform together. Like, what's that dynamic like?
It's funny because I mean, for us, there's no like a border, like a line. You know what? We are like composer and singer out of the house, and we are like a husband and wife. You know, it's like every time everything just like mixed together. You know, but that's part of what we are. I mean, in the same way that we speak like Spanglish, like sometimes we just confuse ourselves and we jump from one language to another one, and we don't know how to say a word in English, and we say it in Spanish. In Spanish, it's the same with our like our marriage and like art, and versus artistic life. It's like we always like kind of working it and like enjoying our life, like living together and being creative.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I mean, maybe she thinks different. I don't know.
No, yeah. I agree.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know. It's not like working all the time, but you cannot separate like one thing from the other. Like sometimes if you get an idea, it's like, and you're cooking, you're like, oh, no, I know what it is about. Hey, Jaime, come here. And you're like talking about that when you were like 2 minutes ago talking about the spaghetti, you know? Yes, but I think it's what makes us like more united, stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that idea of, you know, inspiration does truly come from anywhere, and you got to be ready for it. And having a collaborator right there is that's a nice
that's
thing.
great. Yeah.
And Jaime, I know you sent me a video that you just recently put out there. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a song that I wrote with Marina Pires. Marina Pires is an amazing singer, actress, songwriter, actually originally from Brazil as well.
Brazil!
Brazil is in the house. So she's originally from Brazil, but I mean, she grew up here in the States and back and forth. And we wrote this song like 2 years ago when a very close friend of us, Mauricio Martinez, got diagnosed with cancer for the first time.
Yeah.
So at that time, Mauricio and Marina were together in the On Your Feet tour. And so she was like being part of that process in some way, like being with him. And I mean, and we exchanged like texts. We were like talking with each other, and we had this idea about writing a song for Mauricio to try to like support him, and I mean to let him know that we were there for him. And I mean, we wrote the song, and we were supposed like to. I mean, I was trying to reach a group of friends to record the song, but it was like everyone has like a different schedule. I mean, it was different. It was very hard to put together people from Mexico, from New York, people that was in the tour. So, long story short, we weren't able to finish the song at that time. But you know, I mean, that's life, because now that we need this song is when we were able to finally finish the song and finish like the production, the music production. And we decided to release the song. And actually, Mauricio didn't know about the song. Like at that time, I just let him know like a few months ago when we were finishing the song. And he was like very moved about the song. And now it's a song that we want to share like with the world, because it speaks a lot about what we're like going through right now.
Yeah, it was so moving when you sent it to me. I almost started crying. I was just getting like very emotional. It was beautiful. I feel like it spoke to me, and I'll share that again. I shared it on the bwaySHO Facebook page. So
yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and you know, it's art and music and these kind of stories actually are the thing that keep us alive right now. I mean, it's funny that I wrote this song for someone else, and it is actually one of the songs that has kept me alive, like right now, you know. So you never know what's going to happen with the thing that you do. I mean, maybe you can So someone's heart that you don't know where is he. I mean, someone in the world eventually is gonna listen to your music, your lyrics, your songs, and you can create a change. You can maybe you can save a life. Maybe you can. I mean, you never know. So that's why there's a big responsibility we have as an artist, and more living in this time with everything that is happening, and like with all this crisis and all this political stuff going on around the world. We need to speak up, and we need to like to be example for others, but not with words, but with facts. I mean, doing things with actions.
Right. No, I think that's such a good point, because people turn to art in times of need. They go there when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're confused, when they need to connect with someone. And having art right now, even when we were just saying like what show we're watching, and we're both watching like musical theater shows.
Yeah.
Yes, we are in need of that. Yeah.
And I know, I've been talking about donating to the Actors Fund. Are there any other specific places that you'd recommend people donating to right now?
I mean, there's plenty of places, but I mean, mostly what I have learned is the thing that we did with the album with this female song cycle. When we did the song cycle, we wanted to make the album as a benefit for some organization, and we were looking like for huge organizations about like women, like parenthood plan, or like all those big organizations. And during the process to decide which organization we wanted to support, we realized that we need to get that close to us. Mm-hmm. So at the end, we decided to do the album as a benefit for a great organization called Maestra Music. Maestra Music is an organization founded by Georgia Steed, that is an amazing composer, and her vision and her mission with this organization is support women in theater, like composers, writers, music directors, all kind of female artists in a musical theater world. So we decided, we need to try to support the people that is close to us. It was the same when it was the hurricane in Puerto Rico. I mean, there was a lot of people like helping in general, mm-hmm. But what we tried to do when we were helping was helping the musicians that they didn't have venues where to play anymore, and that they lost their instruments. Because sometimes you're thinking in the big picture, but that big picture is made of little pieces that sometimes we forgot about it. So definitely, I think, all this long story, but it's a great idea. Try to support our actors, and through Broadway Cares. To the Actors Foundation. It's because we don't know what's gonna happen with Broadway. We don't know what's gonna. They say that they want to come back in June 7th and to restore everything. But being honest, I think it's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be a slow recovery process. Yeah. It's going to be very slow, because it's not like, okay, it's June 7th, let's open the doors. Right. No, they have to rehearse again. They have to put everything together again. They have to promote. We need to bring people to the city again. The people is going to be afraid to go to public spaces, to go to a 1,000-seat theater. So it's going to be slow. But if we are together, we keep together, we're going to make it through, and we're going to be stronger. And that's what we are here for. We need to stay as a community.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And even I know Broadway and Bryant Park is usually in July, and something like that. It always brings me so much joy, like from growing up and now covering it. And I don't know either way. I haven't heard if they're going to do that, or if there's going to be like some type of hybrid of how they do it, of, how many people. But it is so interesting that all these like little pieces of Broadway and the theater community in general, like it's hard to know right now. It's April 13th, and we don't know what's going to happen in a month or in 2 months.
No, and every single day is like changing. It's like
Yep.
everything is very uncertain. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we pray and we hope that this ends sooner than later.
Yes.
But we need to be ready for everything. I mean, we need to keep fighting every single day to survive in the situation. I mean, to try to get the best of it and try to help each other. I mean, there's many ways to help. Sometimes just a text, just a call, just a message, just a post, giving money, doing something. There's many ways to support each other, but definitely we need to support each other.
Yeah.
And Florencia, for what's it been like being a mom during this time? Trying to be creative, also making sure your kid's okay, and being there like 24/7.
It was so funny because before this started, I was on Matilda at Axel Rod in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So I had like like 3 weeks I was rehearsing for 3 weeks, I think so.
Yeah.
And then I went to the theater, like it's in Deal Park.
Yeah.
We were staying there, Deal Park, New Jersey. So I was away from Alonso like for, let's say, a month.
Right.
So then this happened and it was like, okay, now you are on full mom duty, It was like the opposite, totally. I was like doing my art, like very focused, like on rehearsals, doing the show, enjoying. Jaime was taking care of Alonso like 24/7. That was a challenge. Like he's the best. Like I couldn't do it. Like I am very grateful, like to have a partner who supports me, to keep dreaming and keep doing my stuff too. So he was with Alonso 24/7, and then this happened, and I was like, oh well, everything happens for a reason. Maybe now I'm gonna like make up all the time that I was away.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I was like. He started school on September. So like the first year, he was like getting used to it, enjoying school. And now that he was like, okay, I love school. And it's like, oh, yeah. We're close. And I am so sad because of that, because he really loved school. He loved it. Like the teachers, the classroom, everything. And now he's like, okay, he's a kid that he has so much energy. Like he needs to be running and jumping and dancing, and he loves to dance. He loves to act, and he's like, okay, let's do a show, ladies and gentlemen, blah 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 blah. And sometimes I'm like doing some home office for my day job, and I'm like, baby, I can't. Yeah. Like I really can't. I need to get this thing done so we can buy some groceries. And he's like, no, but please, mom, come on. And for example, today I was like doing some home office, and they were playing to have a ballet class because he's taking ballet lessons. So Jaime was the teacher. Oh my God. I was like cracking up. I was like trying to work, and Jaime was like, plie, demi-plie. And Alonso was like, yes, teacher, thank you, teacher. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
And of course, I don't do any ballet. I mean, if you can picture myself doing that, it's one of the most funniest things you're gonna,
Yeah. So it has been challenging, but it has helped a lot. Like to have, he doesn't know really what's going on. He knows there's like a virus on the street because we always try to talk with him with the facts,
Yeah.
And we are like, there's a virus on the street. We cannot go out. We have to be careful. If you go out, you have to wear a mask, blah, 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 blah. You cannot touch anything. And sometimes he's like, I'm sad, mom. And I'm like, why? He's like, because of the virus, I cannot go to the school. I cannot go to the park. I miss my friends. And he's like learning to talk about sad things, that it's good, but also like to have his joy like the child joy, you know, it's something amazing that they can be so happy, like from one moment to the other, and they can laugh about things that you like don't laugh.
I mean, we forgot to laugh about simple things.
Yeah. So sometimes we are like with a balloon, and he can spend 2 hours with a balloon having fun and cracking up and doing different. And I'm like, wow. Sometimes we forget about that. So having him, it's challenging, but it's also, of course, a blessing because you are focused on enjoy the little things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good point because as an adult, you're thinking, oh, how am I going to get through this? Or, you know, how can I help? And also sometimes helping is spending those extra moments with your kid and just like learning to take a moment and relax or smile or learn ballet. Like people are learning new things every day.
Johan is gonna be a ballerina.
After this, I'm going to the New York City Ballet. Yeah.
Oh my God, no, please.
Carla, who's in Hamilton right now, has been doing these live Instagram videos for like dances and workouts, and I am not a dancer. I wish I could dance. And so me and our dog Slim over here, we've been like watching and kind of like dancing along.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So definitely, like, it is such a weird, challenging time, but I'm trying to take it as, okay, well, what positives can I take from this, and what can I try to stay positive, and like, there's a Legally Blonde song, "Keep It Positive," and I've been
exactly.
singing that a lot.
Keep it positive.
Yeah. Take it to the floor. Yeah.
Yeah. For example, now that all this is going, Alonso just got obsessed with Ninja Turtles. Like suddenly, like from one day to the other, he was like, "I'm a Ninja Turtle fan," and I was like, "Okay," and he was like, "I want toys. Like I want Ninja Turtle toys," and I'm like, "Baby, one, we are broke. Like we don't have money, you know. Two, Amazon is not working that good. Like I cannot do anything." And he was like crying, and I want Ninja Turtle toys. And I was like, "Jaime, what should we do?" So I watched a tutorial on YouTube to how to make the thing that they have here, like
like the shell.
Yeah, the shell. Yeah. So I did a shell.
The mask.
Yeah.
With a cereal box, you know. And I tried like my best, and he was like, "Oh wow, I'm a Ninja Turtle," you know. So that's a funny thing to do because sometimes you don't have the time. You're like, "Okay, what do you want? Okay, this one. Okay, yeah, bye, yeah, come," you know.
Yep.
So you're enjoying this, and he's also he's young, but I think like when he gets older, he's gonna see like, "Oh, my mom like figured out how to make it work during that hard time," you know. So I like sometimes say children will listen. Children like literally, they are listening to you. They look at you. I don't know. It's like the best we can do.
I mean, I'm sure that we are learning from this situation we are living right now. So that's the better we can do. I mean, learn as much as possible, but because, I mean, being honest, I don't think this is going to be the last time that something like this is going to happen. Hopefully, we're not going to be in this situation again, but maybe our sons or maybe the son of our sons are going to be in this situation. And they're going to learn from the way that we behave and the way that we actually deal with this. Yeah. So, I mean, it's okay to cry, to get angry, and to be frustrated, but then just turn the page and figure it out. Figure the way to keep going and to find new ways to make money, to find new ways to create, to find new ways to entertain your son, to find new ways for everything. I mean, we are in this is something extraordinary. I mean, we need like extraordinary answers for this, for extraordinary solutions for these kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, and that certainly does bring up a good point that they'll remember this time for whatever it is, right? They'll remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shell, and which I'm a huge fan. I actually was just wearing my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pajama pants, so yeah, right up my alley. Turtle power. And honestly, though, like, those are the type of things, like, my mom, who's tuning in right now, like, growing up, she always helped me make my Halloween costumes, right? And those were, like, my favorite ones. And then I would see people with the store-bought ones, which were maybe, like, better quality, but I was like, I always had these, like, really cool ones, or, like, really artsy, or so different. And it's fun to challenge your creativity in different ways and see, when you are challenged, how you respond.
And that's what love makes us do. Like, love challenges all.
Yeah, and that's true. At the end of everything, I mean, love is the answer. Yeah. I mean, if we do it with love, that's what's gonna make us find the right answer. It's not. It's as easy as that. I mean, just what are you gonna do for love, because of love? And you're gonna get the right idea to deal with something.
Yeah.
Everything needs to come from love. It's like when you're writing a show. I mean, there's writers that, I'm gonna write my Broadway show. It's impossible to write a Broadway show. No, you have to write that show that you love. And eventually that show is gonna go somewhere. Broadway, regional, Australia, wherever. But you need to write a show that you love. You're not writing for Broadway or for Off-Broadway. Right. So it's exactly that's the only answer. I mean, just do things for love. What I did for love, like a chorus line, right?
Yeah. What I did for love.
Yeah.
No, that's brilliant. And speaking of that, even, like, I know Lin-Manuel Miranda called you the next big thing, which I love. And
he was wrong. I'm kidding. Maybe, but I don't know.
He had Hamilton in his brain for 7-8 years, and people were laughing, and Clackamore and Tommy Kalik and Andy Blankenbuehler, like, they were all working together, and no one could have imagined what it would be today. And they thought maybe it'll be a mixtape, and then they went with Obama. But it's, people say, I want to write my next Hamilton. It's like, well, Hamilton wasn't even going to be Hamilton until it got to that phase.
Yeah, but I mean, he's the best example, talking about doing things because of love. I mean, he really is passionate about the story and about telling that story. I mean, he never talked about being on Broadway with that show. He just wanted to create like an album, or to put a few songs out there. And because it was a story that he was telling, like, full of love, that was the way that it gets to where it gets right now, right? I mean, he's the best example, definitely. I mean, the same with the other show. I mean, In the Heights. It was a labor of love during 12 years, like, and this is important as well, like, being surrounded by a great team. I mean, a team that tells you, okay, that's good, but maybe we can do this as well. Maybe this is a better idea. Let's do this. I mean, to have that dream team. I mean, that's the. I mean, you have, and it's people that love the story and at the same time love each other. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. I mean, to tell our own stories with people that we love each other, with our own familia. So, I mean, definitely we have learned a lot from people like Lin-Manuel, like Alex Lacamoire, like Luis Salgado, like Alex Blankenbuehler, like, I mean, from all the people, Sergio Trujillo. I mean, they are there. They're having, like, struggling, because it hasn't been easy for them. I mean, there's been a struggle every single day, and we're trying to follow their path. And we know that there's people that's gonna be behind us following our path, and it's a never-ending path. I mean, it's a never-ending, and hopefully we're gonna have like more diverse stories on Broadway, more Latino writers, more POC writers on Broadway. I mean, we need like that diversity, and but it's not in the cast. It's not just in the casting. It's not about casting like diverse. I mean, that's not the answer. I mean, the answer needs to come from the top. I mean, from different stories, like diverse producers, diverse writers, diverse directors,
Production team.
yeah, production team. I mean, all that, and that's what I mean. I'm sure that this crisis that we're living now is part of this change. I mean, after this, we're gonna be. I mean, everybody's gonna be even stronger than we were before, and we're gonna create even more amazing things. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I know people, I've been checking on social media, people are saying if things go back to the way they were, then we'll have failed, because
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
there's such an opportunity here. I mean, to have more, people of color, more diversity, more women in those leadership roles. There's just so much that needs to be done and
Yeah.
improved.
More women directors.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's so important, and it's amazing to see the growth and what there is off Broadway. I've seen like there have been so many great shows, and hopefully we can bring that more off Broadway, more on Broadway, and just kind of inspiring those and inspiring the voices that brings up who you see on the subway, right? Because that's what it is.
Yeah, totally.
So I want to be respectful of your time. I want to see if there's maybe you could do one more song. How would you feel?
Yeah, what should we do?
I don't know. Which lyrics do you have there?
I don't know. What do you want?
What do you get?
Why are you playing? It's like, guess the song. Let me grab my lyrics here, just in case. You can talk about the song. What's the name of this song?
The Other Side.
Thank
you. Have the lyrics?
I like the idea of name that tune you're about to sing.
Let's go straight to the song.
Okay. There's a wall that divides us. By springtime it needs repair. Mending together, it's work we both can share. There are stones that have fallen, cracks where the light comes through, slopping and slanting, and too much of you in view. Good fences make good neighbors, we say. Like our fathers before us, it's just what we always say. Before you build a wall, what have you tried? Who am I walling in? Who am I walling out? Why am I so afraid of the other side? Who's on the other side? Now my neighbor is calling. Let's get this job done fast. Stronger and taller, this time we'll make it last. But I started to wonder, clouds never play this game, passing each morning and greeting us both the same. Good fences make good neighbors, we say, and we keep on rebuilding what nature will take away. Before you build a wall, we have to ask, who am I walling in? Who am I walling out? Why am I so afraid of the other side? Who's on the other? Something there is in me that doesn't love the wall, that wants it down. Something there is in me that wants to be free, like the clouds and the sea. Let the earth have the wind we just spent, and we're halfway around the world. Always halfway around the world, halfway around, and the world has no end. Before you build the wall, you have to ask, who am I walling in? Who am I walling out? Why am I so afraid of the other side? Who's on the other side? You're on the other side. Breaking down fences will open the world up wide.
Bravo, bravissimo. Oh, wow. That is so beautiful. And people were commenting like one of their favorite songs. So beautiful. Thank you.
Oh,
It's so important.
maybe they thought it was a Hamilton song. That's why they said that.
What was that?
No, maybe they thought there was another song. That's why they were saying they was featuring this
Yeah,
song.
right. Oh, no, it's beautiful. And I
Thank
love
you.
how your songs, they go from like, kind of soothing, and then you hit it with those, the power move. Beautiful. That's awesome. So is there anything else to your fans that you want to share? Any messages to people watching that you'd like to get out there today?
I think we already talked a lot about a lot of words of wisdom. I mean, not because they're from us, but because they're having things that we have learned from the people around us. So just, I mean, it's okay. I mean, we're gonna be okay, and it's okay to feel the way you're feeling now. But I mean, we have each other, and we're gonna be here for each other. And at the end of this, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be stronger. We're gonna be even closer, and great things are coming. Great things are coming. I am sure.
Totally.
And anything that you want to make sure people are tuning in for, if you have any other things you're going to be posting, this is a great opportunity to self-promote.
Just be sure to follow us in our social media channels. I mean, I'm on Instagram at Jaime Lozano, JAIMELOZANO, Jaime Lozano. Instagram, Twitter, the same. Facebook and YouTube is Jaime Lozano Composer. I mean, we're trying to create some material to put out there to try to do our part as an artist. I mean, we're gonna soon we're gonna put more material there. I mean, new songs and videos, and we're trying to find people to collaborate with our own Familia. So be sure to follow us. Also,
my Instagram is Flo Cuenca, FLOWCUENCA. and Twitter too, Facebook Florencia Cuenca, and yes, we'll be like sharing new stuff because we want to be closer. Yeah.
Perfect. And y'all can find me at bwaySHO on all the things. And if you subscribe, then you'll see all the videos. I'm going to be posting the 2 songs that they beautifully performed here in this video separately as numbers. So you can just totally listen there. And I have a Broadway and Beyond playlist that is just nonstop music to listen to. That's been really nice during
That's
this
so
time.
cool.
Great.
That's so cool.
I already subscribed to you.
And I
yours.
subscribe to you. So this is perfect. Subscribe.
Yeah, follow, subscribe to our channels. Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you everyone who tuned in today. Y'all are awesome, and we will see you. There are more live videos coming up this week, so tune in then. The 2 of you stay safe. Thank you so much, and be well.
Thank you. Be safe.
Be safe. Take care.
Dun, 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 dun.